Have you ever walked past a fast food restaurant without feeling hungry, and then suddenly, all you could think about was a burger, crispy fries, or a cold soda? Strange, isn't it? Because just a few seconds earlier, you weren't craving anything at all. The truth is, that craving may not have been your idea. It may have been carefully created. Every smell drifting into the street, every colorful advertisement, every perfectly melted slice of cheese, and every satisfying crunch you hear in a commercial, is designed with one goal: to make your brain crave more. Fast food companies don't just sell meals. They sell desire. They study psychology, neuroscience, and human behavior to understand exactly how to trigger your brain's reward system. In this video, you'll discover the hidden business behind cravings, how your favorite foods are engineered to feel irresistible, and why resisting them is much harder than most people realize. 1. The perfect combination your brain can't resist. Have you ever wondered why it's so difficult to stop after just one bite of fast food? You tell yourself, "I'll only eat a few fries." But before you know it, the fries are gone, the burger is gone, and you're already thinking about dessert. This isn't simply because the food tastes good. It's because many fast foods are carefully designed to hit what scientists call the bliss point. The bliss point is the perfect balance of salt, sugar, and fat that creates the strongest possible pleasure response in your brain. Too much salt, and the food becomes unpleasant. Too little sugar, and it loses its excitement. Too little fat, and it doesn't feel satisfying. Food scientists spend years experimenting with tiny adjustments to these ingredients until they discover the exact combination that makes people want another bite. And then another. But there's something even more powerful happening. Your brain loves contrast. Think about biting into a hamburger. First, you hear the soft bun compress. Then the crispy lettuce snaps. The juicy beef releases its flavor. The melted cheese adds richness. The pickles provide a sharp, tangy surprise. Every bite delivers a different texture and sensation. That constant variety keeps your brain interested. Instead of becoming bored, your brain stays excited, always waiting for the next bite. Fast food companies also understand something called sensory-specific satisfaction. Normally, when you eat the same flavor over and over, your brain gradually loses interest. But by combining sweet, salty, creamy, crunchy, hot, and cold sensations in one meal, they slow down that feeling of satisfaction. As a result, you keep eating longer than you intended. The remarkable truth is that many fast foods are not created simply to satisfy hunger. They're engineered to maximize pleasure. Every ingredient, every texture, every crunch, and every burst of flavor has been carefully tested to make stopping feel surprisingly difficult. By the time you finish your meal, it may feel like you made the choice. But in reality, your brain has been responding exactly as it was designed to. 2. Dopamine, the chemical that keeps you coming back. Have you ever noticed something strange? Sometimes, the strongest craving doesn't happen while you're eating fast food. It happens before you even take the first bite. You see a commercial. You smell French fries. Or you drive past your favorite restaurant. Suddenly, your mouth begins to water. Your stomach feels hungry. And all you can think about is eating. What causes that feeling? The answer is dopamine. Many people believe dopamine is the chemical that makes you feel pleasure. But that's only part of the story. In reality, dopamine is much more about anticipation than pleasure itself. It motivates you to chase a reward before you receive it. When your brain sees a familiar fast food logo, hears the sound of crispy fries, or smells grilled burgers, dopamine begins rising immediately. Your brain is saying, something rewarding is about to happen. The amazing part is that this happens before you even eat. In fact, researchers have found that dopamine often peaks during the anticipation of a reward, not after receiving it. This is exactly why advertisements are so powerful. Notice what fast food commercials rarely show. They almost never show people finishing a meal. Instead, They focus on sizzling meat, melting cheese, crispy fries, cold drinks covered with ice. Every image is carefully designed to trigger anticipation. The goal isn't simply to make you hungry. It's to activate your brain's reward system before you even realize what's happening. Over time, this creates a powerful habit loop. First comes the cue. Maybe it's a billboard, a social media ad, or the smell drifting from a nearby restaurant. Then comes the craving. Next, you buy the food. Finally, your brain receives the reward. Every time this loop repeats, the connection becomes stronger. Eventually, you don't need to be hungry anymore. The cue alone is enough to make your brain crave fast food. That's why resisting cravings often feels so difficult. You're not just fighting your appetite. You're competing with a reward system that has been trained, sometimes for years, to respond automatically. And the more often that loop repeats, the more your brain begins to believe that fast food isn't just something you enjoy. It's something you need. 3. The hidden tricks that make fast food impossible to ignore. Think about the last fast food advertisement you saw. Did it show someone quietly eating a meal? Probably not. Instead, you saw melting cheese stretching perfectly from a burger, golden fries falling into the box, ice cubes splashing into a cold drink, a juicy burger sizzling on the grill. Everything looked almost too perfect to be real. And that's because it often is. Fast food companies don't simply advertise food. They advertise desire. Every image, every color, and every sound is carefully designed to capture your attention before you even realize it. Take the color red, for example. Psychologists have found that red naturally attracts attention and creates a sense of excitement and urgency. Now think about how many famous fast food brands use red in their logos and restaurants. It's no coincidence. Then there's yellow. Yellow is associated with happiness, warmth, and optimism. When red and yellow are combined, they create one of the most attention-grabbing color combinations for the human brain. That's why you'll often see these colors used together in fast food branding around the world. But colors are only the beginning. The photography itself is carefully engineered. Food stylists spend hours arranging every ingredient. The lettuce is placed perfectly. The tomatoes are brighter. The cheese is heated just enough to melt beautifully. Sometimes the food in advertisements isn't even edible. It's created specifically to look irresistible under studio lights. Then comes the packaging. Bright colors. Simple logos. Easy to recognize shapes. The moment you see that familiar box or cup, your brain instantly remembers previous enjoyable experiences. Before you've tasted anything, your expectations have already been activated. Even sound plays an important role. Listen carefully to a fast food commercial. The crisp crunch of fried chicken. The fizz of a cold soda. The gentle sizzle of meat on a hot grill. These sounds are often amplified because your brain associates them with freshness and satisfaction. By the time you decide to buy, your senses have already been working together for several minutes. Your eyes, your ears, your memory, your emotions, and your expectations. The remarkable truth is, fast food companies aren't just selling burgers or fries. They're creating an experience that begins long before the first bite. Because the strongest craving doesn't always start in your stomach. More often than not, it starts in your brain. For the business of making you buy more. Have you ever gone to a fast food restaurant planning to spend just a few dollars, but somehow walked away with a large combo meal? Extra fries, a dessert, and a drink you never intended to buy? That isn't an accident. It's part of a carefully designed business strategy. Fast food companies know that selling one extra item to millions of customers can generate billions of dollars in additional revenue. One of their most powerful tools is the combo meal. Imagine you're offered two choices. A burger alone costs $6. But for just $2 more, you can get fries and a drink. Suddenly, spending more feels like saving money. Psychologists call this the value perception effect. Your brain focuses on what you're gaining, instead of what you're spending. Then comes another clever strategy: upselling. After you place your order, the cashier asks, "Would you like to make it a large for just $1 more?" It sounds like a tiny decision. After all, it's only $1. But that single question dramatically increases the average amount each customer spends. When millions of people say yes every day, that extra dollar becomes an enormous source of profit. Fast food chains also create limited time offers. Special burgers, seasonal drinks, exclusive flavors, messages like, "Available for a limited time only." These promotions trigger a psychological response known as FOMO, the fear of missing out. Even if you weren't planning to buy anything, your brain begins thinking, "If I don't try it now, I may never get the chance again." Then there are loyalty apps. Every purchase earns points. Every visit unlocks rewards. Every notification reminds you about discounts and free food. Over time, your brain starts seeing every purchase as progress toward another reward. This keeps customers coming back again and again. The remarkable truth is, fast food companies don't simply compete by making better food. They compete by designing better systems to influence your decisions. Every combo, every upgrade, every reward point, every limited time promotion has one purpose: to encourage you to spend just a little more than you originally planned. And when millions of customers do exactly that, those small decisions become one of the biggest business strategies in the world. 5. Taking back control of your cravings. The good news is, your brain can be trained. Just as fast food companies have learned how to influence your cravings, you can learn how to manage them. The first step is surprisingly simple. Never go for fast food when you're extremely hungry. When you're hungry, your brain becomes much more sensitive to smells, colorful advertisements, and tempting images. Everything looks irresistible. And that's exactly when you're most likely to make impulsive decisions. Another powerful strategy is to pause before ordering. The next time you're about to buy fast food, wait just 10 minutes. Take a short walk. Drink a glass of water. Or simply distract yourself for a moment. You'll be surprised how often the craving becomes much weaker. Psychologists call this urge surfing. Instead of fighting the craving, you simply allow it to rise. And then watch it fade away. Most cravings don't last nearly as long as we imagine. Your daily habits also matter. Eating enough protein, fiber, fruits, and vegetables helps keep your blood sugar stable. When your body is properly nourished, your brain becomes less desperate for quick rewards. Perhaps the most important strategy is changing your environment. If your kitchen is filled with chips, candy, and sugary drinks, your brain will constantly receive reminders to eat them. But if healthier foods are the easiest things to reach, your choices begin to change naturally. Remember, willpower isn't your greatest weapon. Your environment is. The less temptation you see, the fewer battles your brain has to fight. The truth is, fast food companies spend billions of dollars every year studying how to influence your behavior. But awareness gives you something even more powerful: the ability to recognize when your brain is being guided. Because the moment you understand how cravings are created, they begin to lose their power. You don't have to stop enjoying fast food forever. You simply become the person making the decision. Instead of letting your cravings make it for you, the next time you suddenly crave a burger, a pizza, or a bucket of fried chicken, pause for just a moment. Ask yourself one simple question: am I truly hungry, or is my brain simply responding to a carefully designed trigger? That single question could completely change the way you eat. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell for Mind Unlocked. Every week, we explore the hidden psychology behind everyday life, revealing how businesses, technology, and human behavior quietly shape the decisions you make every day. Until next time, remember this: the more you understand your brain, the less control the world has over it.